everyone, welcome back to my 20-week bump dates. I cannot believe we are halfway through my pregnancy, if not sooner, because I was born a little early and Cody was too. So we may be seeing our little one here within the next 18 to 20 weeks, Lord willing. So I can't believe we're halfway done and keep chucking on the next half of the pregnancy. Welcome back. Little Connor today is half-baked, just like the ice cream from Ben & Jerry's. I have a picture of that I have a picture I took today of my little Ben & Jerry's pint ice cream that I've been saving for a while, and Cody took it of me in front of the whiteboard downstairs, just a commemorable half-baked little clip. So I couldn't wait to share that with Instagram. So yesterday was my anatomy scan, and we got some interesting news at the anatomy scan. He's healthy and doing great and kicking, but we just had a little bit of a bump in the road, which was somewhat expected but also not. I'll get into that a little later in the video, but let's get into some stats. So at the ultrasound yesterday, he is in the 58th growth percentile, so he jumped from the 34th to the 58th percentile in growth, and he weighs 12 ounces, so he's 4 ounces away from being a whole pound, and I can't hardly believe that. It doesn't feel like he's really that big there inside, right here. He was moving so much the entire morning before the ultrasound, during the ultrasound, and they always push really hard on your stomach in the ultrasound too, so I'm sure he doesn't like that. I don't, it hurts. But we actually didn't get many great pictures, and I know everyone normally gets the cutest pictures from the anatomy scan of either his face or his features, or at least a lot of pictures, and we got neither. He was just moving around so much, and it was hard to get really clear pictures, and the ultrasound tech wasn't really interested in doing so. So it's hard to have an uncooperative person when you're excited and want to have great things and they're just there for just the job, which I found a lot of ultrasound techs are, so it's a little bit strange. But Connor, yeah, so he's 12 ounces ahead of where the apps say he is in weight. He's measuring 20 weeks and 3 days at my 20-week and 1-day appointment. But if you go off the first day of my last period, he is my anatomy scan day, he was 20 weeks and 4 days, so he's caught back up, so he's 20 weeks and 3 days, so he's only like 1 day behind if you go by the first day of my last period, which I ovulate 2 or 3 days late anyway, so he's truly like 2 or 3 days ahead of where he actually should be, so that's exciting. But it was neat to see his little face and profile, and on the live ultrasound we could see his little nose and mouth pushed up against like the probe, and it was just like he was giving it a kiss. It was so cute. You could see his nostrils. The accuracy of those things are incredible, and this tech was able to go through and label the ventricles in the brain, the 4 chambers of the heart, look at the kidneys, look at the organs, see everything in the right place, and everything was fantastic. He's fully healthy, moving, grooving, looking fantastic. Oh, and his heart rate was 148, so that's perfect. I've gained 13 pounds as of now, and I think I'm still under, I can't remember where they said they wanted me. It was either 15 pounds or something like that at this point. Maybe it was exactly 13. I can't remember. I'm either exactly where I should be or slightly underweight where I should be. Oh, I got my hospital pre-registration packet so I can start pre-registering to give birth at the hospital, and I got information about birthing classes, and I think we're going to take a birthing class in the very beginning of April, one of the Saturdays. It's an all-day class. I'll show you some of the good ultrasound pictures. I honestly don't know. I know those are his legs and feet and maybe hand grabbing his foot. I don't really know. She didn't quite explain. This was a pretty decent one of his back of his head and his spine, kind of laying face down. So that was a good one. This one is facing the camera, and you can kind of see an eye socket. It's a little bit creepy, just a little bit. The best side profile we got. Not fantastic. Honestly, that's pretty much it. I mean, I was a little disappointed But our next ultrasound, we have a private ultrasound planned in a studio nearby that family can come in. It's like 30 minutes long. You can take pictures, videos, they do 4D. You can get a necklace with his heartbeat. You can get an animal with his heartbeat sound recorded in it. So that would be nice to have all like 9 close females of my family come to see the ultrasound with me, and because they've not seen him yet. And in the old, before COVID, anyone could come into the ultrasound appointment with you, within reason, and see the baby, but now they barely allow the husbands. So I just it'll be worth $169 to do a 30-minute private scan with all these benefits, because they don't let you take pictures or videos in doctor's office ultrasounds, which is crazy because it's your baby, but that's okay. Actually, it's not okay, but for this week, baby Connor is the size of a cantaloupe, which is really hard to believe because my entire stomach's not the size of a cantaloupe, so it's hard to believe he is right now. The hair on top of his head has started to grow, even though Cody and I were born bald and we're bald until we were like 2. His eyebrows have thickened, his eyelashes are visible, he can yawn and blink now. His spine has straightened out with each vertebrae visible on ultrasound, which it was. His bone marrow is now making blood cells instead of his liver and kidneys, I believe, that were for a while. The top of my uterus is now in line with my belly button. I've started to notice lower back pain a little bit and towards the end of the day now, with just the daily ins and outs of living, and that's been a little bit frustrating. Here is my little picture with my coconut-looking cantaloupe. In fact, I don't like cantaloupe, Cody doesn't like cantaloupe, Lucy doesn't like cantaloupe, and our whole families do. I bet you Connor's not going to like cantaloupe. Another interesting fact, so I was born 3.5 weeks early, Cody was born about 8 days early, so I'm betting Connor's going to be early. I'm hoping at least, and I hope he'll be not over 8 pounds. I was 5 pounds, Cody was 8. So we've got a good little range there. Hopefully he can stay somewhere sweet between that little range. Here's my half-baked picture I took this morning. I'm so proud. I've been wanting to take that picture for forever. I finally got to. Half-baked. That's the book I use to get my updates. It's quite incredible. I like to see in real time, I like to see a visual representation of what he looks like inside of me. At week 20, it says he should be 10.5 inches long and weigh 12.7 ounces. Okay, so he was 12 ounces exactly, so he might actually be on track there. It says my appetite should start increasing. I should have even more extra blood volume. I should start feeling warmer than normal because of that, which I think I have been starting to feel that. Luckily we're in the winter time, so if I get hot I just walk outside. Back to the ultrasound. So we gotten through everything, and as you guys may know, Cody's dad was born with clubbed feet, which needed casting for a whole year of his life to fix. Cody was born with the most severe case of clubbed feet they'd ever seen in their lives. His feet were like this coming out instead of like this. So he had to have surgery, casting, everything, and he lives day to day with extreme, excruciating pain constantly. And it impacts our life significantly every single day of our entire relationship. We can't walk together, we can't go on hikes, he is always in pain. And I knew going into this that the doctors all dismissed me, said I was silly, refused to believe my even concern that my baby would have club feet. Even the clubfoot specialist that redid Cody's surgery 2 years ago said I was being silly and I might as well play the lottery for the chance of my baby having club foot, the comparison. And just even my current OBGYN said, we don't need to talk about that, stop bringing it up. And I didn't let up. I know statistics, data, trends, this has to be genetic looking at Cody's family history. This has to be. There's no way this is coincidence. And finally, after seeing the ultrasound yesterday, I got the doctor to admit that this might be very well genetic. And that's all the validation I needed. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it before, during, after to prevent it. But this is serious. It needs validation, and actually it needs some study and attention and research or publications online so poor other families can have this information. It burns me. I do not like feeling undermined. I don't like being patronized. I don't like it. So when we've had our ultrasounds, luckily since I've had so many, we've been able to track his little legs. We've been watching carefully, and at his 12-week ultrasound, his legs were straight as an arrow. At our 17-week one, which is a 5-week difference, I noticed his left leg, his foot was turned. We didn't know for sure if that was clubbed foot or his positioning in the womb from how he was laying. He wouldn't stretch it out and show us, so we kind of had to give up on that one to see. But his right foot looked fine, and knowing Cody's history with this family, it's either both or none. So since we saw the right leg being fine, we figured, hey, that means he's good. In his family, there's not one foot, not the other. So he's good. He just dodged a bullet. But at the ultrasound yesterday, when they got from his head down, when they got towards his legs, they measured his femurs, and then got towards his tibia and fibula and his ankles. I saw that right foot stretch out perfectly. And then he kicked his little left foot. Like this. Instead of like this, it looks like this. And my heart sunk, and I knew before I even asked. I said, "That's his left foot, isn't it?" And she said, "Yes, it is." I said, "It's an L, isn't it?" And she said, "It's clubbed." I said, "I know, I told you all. I know, I told you." And poor Cody was just stunned next to me for like 10 minutes. And after that point of the ultrasound, it took a different turn. And I think that's why we didn't get any great pictures or anything, because it was kind of rushed after that, and that was that. And we didn't get a picture of the clubbed foot, which she had taken, but I don't know why they didn't give that to me. I would have loved to have looked at it more, or to shown a possible pediatric orthopedic surgeon whenever we start meeting with him soon. Whatever, I'll be requesting that soon. But, we just didn't notice she didn't print it out. We were just so caught up in just like, what do we do now? So it doesn't look severe like Cody's were. And, I'm grateful for the opportunity of increased technology where we can see something like this. In Cody's day, when Cody was born, they didn't even know he had clubbed feet. And they had thought Miles was just, his dad was just an anomaly. And so when Cody came out, they were just stunned. Like, the ultrasound imagery was just not where it is today, so they had no clue anything was wrong. And and today we basically saw at 17 weeks, which we probably would have seen earlier if we'd had one between that 5-week period. So that's a blessing. Now we know what to do. We can set up a plan in place with this knowledge we have. Knowledge is power. So it's not as severe as Cody's, not nearly. And the doctor even agreed, and it's not going to get any worse. This is what it is what it is. And we just are going to have to meet with the best orthopedic pediatric surgeon or doctor we can find before birth to get a plan set in place. And when he's born, in the first 3 days or so, start the casting process. And hopefully he'll be able to avoid surgery. But most likely he'll have like casts on his leg that will have to get a new cast every week. And that will be an entire year of his life. And then he'll have a bar between his feet to keep everything still for about 6 months, 24/7, which will impact his crawling, his walking, what he can wear, breastfeeding, sleeping. He'll be in pain. And my biggest thing I was just so distraught about, everyone thinks, oh, that's just cosmetic. He's healthy. Why are you even mentioning this? Well, it's not, because even correcting this after the year mark with all the pain and whatever, Cody deals with this daily. He couldn't play the sports he wanted to. He was in agony most of his childhood, his life. I don't want that for my son. And, and now Connor's going to have to worry about his kids getting this. And, it's not just superficial. This is an actual thing that is very serious and will cause him a lot of pain and anguish throughout his life, and that's what we're trying to avoid. And I know, you know, it's been 29 years since Cody had his surgery, so it'll be that much better technology for Connor. And, you know, it's been 64 years since his dad's casting process, so that's, you know, there's hope. But I mean, what really more can you do for a foot that was just made like this? You know, basically that tendon is too tight, which pulled everything like this to grow, and his bones set like that. Because your bones are malleable until they're not. So we have to reshape them, basically, by forcing it the other way. And, you know, he'll always have to have different shoes. He can't wear the same shoes. Cody's feet grow at a different rate than normal guys. My feet are longer than his, which is crazy because I have normal sized feet. And his feet are shaped funny. He has to wear special shoes. And, you know, like, what are we going to do? Like, get 2 pairs of shoes, one normal, one not. Then he'll have hip and back problems his whole life. Like, what do you do? You know, and Cody's dad didn't have to get special shoes, but, you know, if Connor does, then I don't know. Like, I just, he won't be able to wear any cute little shoes I've bought him. He can't wear typical onesies. I can't put him in a swing. I can't do baby wearing. How am I going to put him in a high chair? I mean, the bar is going to be connecting his feet. You can't just put it through things that have that middle slot to hold them in between their legs. And I just don't want him to go through it. You don't want your kid to go through anything. They don't have to unnecessarily. That's painful in their life. And, you know, he's just going to have to be a fighter. And from the start, he's going to have lots of things to overcome already, on top of how difficult life can be. And that's just something we need to take in and realize and accept before he's born, to get a plan set in place. He might have to do physical therapy, you know, once he gets his cast off at the year mark, and hope he hits all his milestones. Cody has still walked at a year old, even though with his cast on, like, incredible. I walked at 10 months, so and I want him to be, I just fear he's not going to be a thing like me. He's obviously, Cody's a carbon copy of his dad with everything. And obviously Connor's a carbon copy of Cody, his dad, you know, so he's not going to look like me, obviously. Well, I know he's a boy, which is good, but he's not going to have any of my features. He's going to have the club foot. He's going to have all the same things that Cody has. He's not going to have my personality. Like, what part of him is going to be me? Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out. And I've just been so sad wrestling with, you know, I thought, you know, with Cody, it's hard for me to have, like, I can't walk with him like normal, like, couples get to do. We can't go places. We can't walk distances. We have to always be thinking, like, you know, we can't stand for long periods of time. We can't go to the grocery store tonight because his feet hurt. You know, it impacts every aspect of your life. You know, with trips, you can't walk this far. You can't do long walks on the beach. You can't do this. And I always thought, you know, that's okay. That's just, everyone has their thing. But I always thought, once I have kids, they can be my adventure buddies. And we can just go. And I don't even have to bother Cody or make him feel guilty about not being able to do things or wanting him to do things with me. And I'll just have our kids. And then getting this diagnosis with Connor, it's like, then I have nobody. You know, and what if this doesn't even count as he got it, you know, because it's just one foot. So our next kid has it with both feet. You know, then what do? I don't want to be the only one who can enjoy life and have to coddle or have to help them the rest of their lives and not get to do what they want to do or what I want to do and have family time. I want to go to the park. I want to go run and hike and explore and have them be kids and not be able to not do that. You know, and I've got Lucy, but she only is going to live another 10 years if we're lucky. And it'll be a while till we get another dog after her. So I don't want to have no one. I want to have that family unit that's so important to me, of what I view as family, of doing things together that are enjoyable instead of just sitting in the house. You know, that's not a way to live. You know, especially with me not working, like, that's my life is gonna be my kids, and I want to go to parks. I want to go explore. I want to go to Red Clay State Park. I want to go hike in the woods. I want to have a picnic. I want to do all these things that I don't know if he'll be able to do. I don't want to be the only one. And I also can't empathize too well because I just don't know what it feels like. So I'll just be the only one again that just has no idea. There's nothing I can do about it. But, like, these little tiny shoes I got him, like, he won't even be able to wear them. Like, even after the fact, because his feet will be misshapen and swollen, he won't be able to wear, even after the fact, he won't even be able to wear shoes like this because these are for newborns and his foot's not even, like, you can't get his foot in here. And I got these cute little bear shoes and these cute little stegosauruses. I'm still going to try to put his foot in it. And I also don't want him to look funny, you know, when he comes out. And that's the superficial part. I think that's materialistic, that's a little selfish of me, but I don't want him to look funny. You know, especially if, you know, sometimes they wait 3 weeks to put a cast on. I don't want him to, people to be like, oh, how beautiful, and look at his feet and go, oh, what is that? You know, and on the other hand, when he gets his cast, people to look at me like I've dropped him or broken him. Because you know what newborn has full leg casts, or cast, at that age, you know, people are going to judge and say, I think, whatever, like, oh, he's, you know, she's negligent, she's thrown him down the stairs, he's broken his legs already, she deserved to be a parent. You know, if they don't even ask, and if they do, they'll, you know, pity me. You know, what do you, and how do you announce this? I haven't even announced this to the family. How do you tell them, oh, he's got a club foot, you know, he's going to go through all the hardships. Hopefully it's not as bad as his dad, but it might be, hopefully it's just like his grandfather, and it's just easy, and pain-free, and because Cody's dad has almost no problems now, which is the hope. I have these cute little booties. I'm still putting his foot in it, you know, even if it's sideways. I'm still doing that. I bought them, so I'm going to do it. But yeah, I've got to figure out how to tell family. Obviously I've told Cody's family. They understand more than anybody. But I don't know what to do about my family, because they've got to know. That's an awful surprise in the delivery room if they don't. And that's the joy of technology. I've been able to find out early, and I'm going to take advantage of that. This is his little sleep sack, so he's only going to be able to wear things like this to fit over his brace and bar. You know, his little sleep sack, so none of the little onesies I've bought for holidays will fit him. I'd love a girl next, so even all the clothes I can't save for next baby, that baby might be a boy and have club feet, or it might be a girl, so I can't use the boy clothes. But it's just realizing our new normal, and it's just unfortunate, it's just disappointing. Enough about that, but that's our new normal. He's gonna be strong, that's all I know, and stubborn. Just what we need, more stubborn people in our family. But we will overcome. And he'll still be cute. You know, and this is Cody's baby picture when he was 8 months old. He has a little cast on his feet. He had surgery long before this. But he looks happy. And I've been thinking about our baby having this possibility since the day I met Cody, pretty much over 11 years ago, 11 and a half years ago. And I knew always along this was a possibility and it was going to be okay. That's why, you know, this picture always resonated with me, because I picture Connor. I've known his name since then. I've known what he's going to look like, and I felt his soul coming to me, and this is obviously who God chose for us to be parents to, and chose to be our son, you know, after we lost our first baby. You know, so this was the one. We were meant to be little Connor's parents, the exact way he is meant to be. And he's got to be strong, like to, you know, for us to get pregnant so quickly, and even when we thought we'd missed our window, and, you know, for him to hang on and be so strong and have a strong heartbeat, and to have a clubbed foot. It's without a doubt, this is our son. It's completely meant to be. So, I love you, Connor, and I know one day you're going to look back at this and be like, what in the world are you all worried about? But it'll be exciting to get to that part. So, lots of doctor's appointments. That's all I've got for today. Next week will be a little shorter. And then after our elective ultrasound at 28 weeks. We'll have one at 30 weeks. Medically for the last one for the doctor. And I think they estimate his weight. He'll probably be at birth at that point. And then after that, you know, I just go at 28-week glucose test, and then I go from here until I think like 30 or 34 weeks. I visit once a month for just general checkups, and then after 34 weeks I go once every 2 weeks, and then once a week, and then once every few days, I think, till delivery. So we shall see. Love you guys. Bye. This is my 20-week bump. This is in my clothes from the front. I guess at this point I'm about 21 weeks, but cute little bump. Hi, Connor. Cute as can be.